you're right if I wake up in your mind. I guess you're right. I guess you're smart, 'cause I'm taken by you, taking me apart. I could best believe I died to live for the hour dictates the need, and I am speaking like I'm spoken only for. If I meet more than your eye, I guess you're right. If I wake up in your mind, I guess you're right. If I sink into your sleep and make it deep, I guess you're.
Hey, my name's Chris Watts, and I've developed a headlight restoration system called HeadlightRenewDoctor.com. And we are going to renew this headlight in real time. We're not going to stop and start and edit and that, but we're going to do this headlight for you in probably 5 to 7 minutes. Very simple. And our motto is so easy that a 5th grader can do this. So first of all, we want to take our tape master, tear off a couple of long sheets of paper. I put one on the bottom first, and I start on the top. There are two kinds of UV ray deteriorations. One is a yellow, and the other is a white cloudy layer. And this headlight is actually a combination of the both. And so you take your tape and your paper, tape up all the way around this headlight. Next, you want to take the tape, and I like to make sure everything's taped down. If you're doing this process outside, this process can be done while you're changing oil on a car, changing tire, doing brakes. It's a very simple system. Then I like to take and do an extra layer of tape all the way around the headlight, just as a safety precaution. You want to tape up all of the bumper, the paint, but I like to just put an extra layer of tape around there, just as a precaution. Then the next step is you want to take a sanding block that comes in your kit, and is the first step, and you want to take and sand this headlight. I put a lot of pressure on mine, so don't sand like a girl. You can put a lot of pressure on this headlight, and you're seeing that we're getting this yellowness, this yellow layer on this headlight. I call it a waxy pollen layer. And you want to sand this completely off. There's some ridges on this headlight. Now there's some headlights that's got a white layer on, and as you sand it, you'll see the top part of that headlight is deteriorated, and the bottom part is actually good headlight, but you still have to sand that layer completely off. You want to go around the edges. And you see we're getting all that waxy pollen layer buildup. Next, the second step in sanding is you want to take the sandpaper, this 400 grit, and you want to sand the entire surface of the headlight. You will see that we're going to sand off all of the yellowness, and how you know that you're getting all this off is if you're still sanding the deterioration, you're getting these yellow balls on your sandpaper. It's still balling up, so we want to sand until your paper is not balling up anymore. You want to turn it over. We're still getting some. Our next step is you want to take the white rag. I usually try to blow out all the edges. You want to take this white rag and dust it all off. The next step is to take this tack rag that comes in your bag. It's either a yellow or a blue tack rag. And this is what painters use right before they paint a vehicle. And it gets all the microfibers off of your headlight. And you don't want to press very hard. Just very lightly dust this. Then the last step, you want to take your can of UV ray sealant. You want to shake this up vigorously for 3 to 5 minutes. If it is sat for a while, you want to shake this can up 3 to 5 minutes a lot. Then we want to start and we want to put a spray coat on. And you want to start past the headlight. You come past all the way, up, across, up, across. And we want to put a dry coat on here the first time. Just a dry coat on there. And you want to let that set just for a few minutes. Now sometimes, if it's summertime and it's like 95 degrees out, and it comes a thunderstorm and the humidity jumps up to 110%, sometimes when you apply the UV ray sealant, it'll blush or be a little bit cloudy. You want to take a hot air gun and you just want to blow some hot air on it back here. Not close, but just blow some hot air on it just for 5 or 10 seconds, and that blushing will totally disappear, and then withdraw the heat gun. This dries very quickly, as you can see here. And now we want to put on get past the dry coat. Less is better when you're doing this process. So you just want to get enough on there to make it shine, and that's it. And that's all it is. This UV ray sealant that we're applying here is totally different than any other system out there. For one, it takes 15 minutes to renew both headlights. Second, we are applying a UV ray sealant. Not only are we saving off the UV ray deterioration, but we're putting on a sealant that's got UV ray chemicals in the sealant, and it's going to protect it from the UV rays, and this headlight's going to stay just like this. To have replaced this headlight at the dealership or somewhere, this headlight is approximately $400. Times 2 is $800, plus probably about 2 hours tech's labor to put these headlights in. So this headlight's going to cost you about $1,000 to replace. But in 15 minutes, you can renew this headlight. We give a 1-year warranty with this headlight. And we're at almost 2 years doing this process, and this headlight will stay just like this. So this is the Headlight Renew Doctor system. It dries very quickly. Other systems, they take an hour to do, and then you have to let them set for another 30 minutes or an hour to dry. But in approximately 5 to 10 minutes, this is dry completely. We've taken a pressure washer to this system. About 15 minutes later, and this headlight will stay just like this. So this is the HeadlightRenewedDoctor.com headlight restoration system. And I'm Chris Watts. Thank you very much.